أعزائي المشاهدين، كما عودناكم في برنامجكم الأسبوعي برنامج إماراتي، أن نستضيف لكم خيرة من دولة الإمارات العربية المتحدة. ولهذا الأسبوع نستضيف السيد دينيش جنجد، المدير التنفيذي لشركة يونيكس في إمارات دبي. Good afternoon, Mr. Dinesh.
Good afternoon. Thank you for visiting us.
It's our pleasure to meet you today and to know about you also. Let us to know who is Dinesh and when he came to United Arab Emirates.
So I am Dinesh Jangid. I am the regional managing partner of Unicus Consultech. We are a consulting firm focusing on consultancy services across the world. We are a global consultancy firm. Before joining Unicus, I was at KPMG in India for 15 years. And before KPMG, I was in the UK studying, and I did my ACCA Chartered Certified Accounting there. I am also the Global Council member of ACCA and also on the audit committee of ACCA.
Great. Mr. Dinesh, let us to go back. How you come to UAE? You travel a lot, you see many countries. Why you choose to come to Dubai?
Thank you for that question. So firstly, when I was at KPMG in India, I used to do a lot of work across Middle East. So I was involved in setting up of accounting advisory at KPMG. In UAE, in Saudi Arabia, and many parts of the Middle East. And that gave me a nice understanding of the businesses here, the focus areas, the cultural aspects. And because of that, I wanted to look at starting up of operation here.
Great.
And Unicus came at the right time, where I thought I'll be able to utilize my experience better. And it just happened at the right time, and when I joined Unicus, now I've moved to UAE early last year. To your question on why UAE, I think if you look at world over, there are only few countries that are growing rapidly.
Right.
And UAE and Middle East is right in the center of the growth. And many large family houses are looking to move overseas with their businesses, have aspirations to go public, do IPOs. Many transactions are happening, M&A transactions, right. IPOs. And because of that, they need a lot of consultancy and advice. And that's where Unicus comes into picture.
Great.
We are involved in many different kinds of consultancy services, including finance consulting, risk and governance, sustainability, and technology consulting. And all of these are in great demand right now.
Right. Let us know more deeply about the services you are providing, how you do the plan, how you study the market first, and then how you go to the plan to build for a strong company, or we can say huge numbers of employees they has, how you do that, all services. And also the important part, we need to be more digitally or remotely to work with them.
Correct. So let's step back a little bit. So we are involved in providing consultancy services across areas. So first is finance function consulting, where we help companies across areas in finance, whether it's technical accounting, whether it's advice around IPO readiness, or M&A transaction, any accounting and reporting help during those transactions. The fourth and more important one is the digital finance or finance transformation. So that's one block of services across finance function. Second is risk and governance, setting up governance structure for a company, or risk areas, setting up policy procedures, internal controls. So strengthening the entire governance risk function of a company. That's the second block. The third block is sustainability, which is a big focus area for regulators in this region. So we help companies across ESG areas, whether it's setting up ESG strategy, decarbonization plan, or data governance reporting. We have our own tech solution as well to do ESG reporting. So that's the third service. Fourth is the technology consulting across finance, sustainability, and risk areas. So all of these put together is our service offering, and all of these are relevant to many different types of companies. So if you're an emerging company, you need advice around risk and governance, or at IPO readiness some stage. If you're already established and listed company, you need help around, let's say, transaction support, or deep technical accounting, or ESG reporting. Or if you are a company that is already in the areas of let's say businesses which are operating in different sectors. We have services that are focusing on different sectors as well. So it doesn't matter what kind of organization you are, our services are relevant to across organizations and businesses and sectors.
Mr. Dinesh, if we be in the services, we need a creative team, we need we can say more activities they has also, and we need to training them with the technology what we are seeing in the market, to delegate them, to keep them update always with the rules also for the government. How you support your team with that, and how you or what the strategy to select the right team to be because they will be your ambassador in the markets, right?
Correct. No, it's a very important question for us, which we debate internally quite a lot. First thing first, selecting and attracting the right talent, as you said. We are very, very particular about who we hire, especially at senior leadership level. And therefore, we have a very strong screening process, not just from the academics and the work experience, but around values.
Right.
We are very particular about the values aspect. The person that we hire at senior level must be a fit in terms of culture and values. So that's the first step. Once we hire people, we focus a lot on training, internal training as well as external training. So we have our own academy, which has right balance of technical trainings and cultural trainings. And we make sure that people go through these trainings before and after they've been deployed on jobs. And second thing is on the job training, which is also equally important. So we do make sure that in every job that people are engaged in, they get mentored and coached by the leaders on individual projects. So on the job training is also an essential part of it. And we are a people organization, so our business and most important asset for us is people.
Right.
And therefore we invest a lot to make sure that when people go out to talk to our clients, they, as you said, they are ambassadors of Unicus, and they talk the same language that all the leaders speak and represent Unicus.
And if we talk about the demand, from your experience as a person to travel in many countries, how you see the demand here and how you see the growth of the market in United Arab Emirates?
I think, as I said, tremendous demand. Tremendous demand for, firstly, businesses to set up their centers here and prosper. I think we have seen many companies setting up their head offices, regional offices, and the businesses themselves are growing very, very fast. So from businesses standpoint, there's tremendous demand, not just in the region, but the global businesses coming here and setting it up. And in that context, there is also a need for people like us, consulting firms, to come and help these companies out, where they set up the business, growth of the business, or once you are listed, how do you sustain being a listed company? How do you make sure there is a strong governance culture in the business? There is a sustainability within the business. So each of these areas are close to us, and that's where Unicus comes into picture.
In your field, I saw a lot of competition. I think it's a huge number of competition here in United Arab Emirates with many international or with local company also. How you keep yourself more unique in the services, and how you keep yourself also more special from other competitor?
No, that's a very, very good question. I mean, there is certainly with the demand, a lot of consulting firms and businesses have set up over the last few years. Not the global firms and also, but the regional firms and local firms have set up their operations here. It's very hard to differentiate, in at least especially in our business. And therefore, what we are trying to do is, we are focusing on the basics. For example, we are not a PPT consultant. A lot of the companies, when it's part of our setup process, when we did the outreach, we heard from our prospective clients that they want implementation advice.
Right.
They just don't want a white paper or a PPT. They want somebody to help them implement. So that's the first thing that we did as part of our setup activity. Second is they want an organization or consulting firm to be agile. So again, they don't want people to spend weeks before an advice is given or before a transaction is consummated. So they want people to be there with them, let's say within a matter of hours or days and not weeks. And many large organizations we hear take weeks to do the contracting and basic admin before they start working with clients. So that's the second one that we are. And the third thing that we're hearing from clients is technology, as you said, is a big differentiator. If you look at our name, it's Consultech. So we are merging consultancy and technology together.
Great.
To deliver technology-enabled service to our clients. So we are not only working on transaction, how do you do by putting in more and more hours, but how do you automate those activities and tasks so that in the future technology takes over as opposed to client needing consultancy firms every time they have a similar transaction.
Right.
So that's a big area for us.
We saw many companies after COVID-19, they move more to digital. As you mentioned, technically, digitally more easy and more fast also, and save a time also. And the time very important for a business people. How you invest also, and how you keep your system always updating with the new technology, as what we see every day today. We see technology moving and upgraded.
Yeah, you're right. And therefore, if you look at the fourth service offering, as I said earlier, for us is technology consulting.
Right.
So we have obviously our in-house development team as well that is focusing on developing products that we can use to deliver services to the clients. But at the same time, how do we lend our technology to our clients? Because we don't provide audit or external validation or certification, we have no independence restrictions in terms of lending technology to our clients, and therefore this is a big focus area for us. We are developing quite a lot of products, from Gen AI to technology platform for risk and reporting.
Great.
To also our ESG product, and we have an in-house development team that is helping develop these technology. At the same time, we have a consultant practice, tech consulting, which is focusing on delivering tech consulting services to our clients. And that's where we are trying to merge own products as well as products of our collaboration partners to deliver a technology-enabled service to our clients. And there are many actually focus areas, from AI ML to governance around technology to data analytics, and these are some of the focus areas that we have. And there's an intense demand for each of these areas across Middle East.
As an expertise person on business, let us to know about the rules and regulation here in United Arab Emirates, how it's helped the investors to grow in their business, and how you see from your experience the people interested to invest in UAE.
Yeah. I mean, I will just share firstly my own experience or our own experience in setting up operations. So when we set up Unicus last year, early last year, it was a matter of days when we got started. Wow. So it was that easy. We obviously had to spend a little bit of time to understand the structuring, whether we should go with free zone company or a mainland company, and what kind of services that we should have in our license, and some of the other registrations, but it was very seamless. What I like about the rules and regulations here is a lot of things are technology enabled.
Right.
So we are registered in DIFC, we have our own online portal. A lot of the activities that we need to do, for example, getting visa for our team members or setting up new business, it's just a matter of logging onto the portal and selecting the right service. And I guess that's the same story I hear from a lot of the businesses that we're working with. They find it very easy to navigate around regulatory requirements here, and that's really a big advantage for people to come here and set up businesses. And I guess what I also see is the regulators are very proactive in learning what the challenges companies are facing. And I see also the tax, for example, indirect tax, direct taxes, they've been rolled out and very seamlessly getting integrated in businesses. So full marks to the regulators here in terms of how they've set up the policies and procedures, and how they made it seamless for businesses to be set up here. So our experience has been great, and so is the same story we hear from our clients.
And so today, what you would advise for who are planning to come to UAE to invest in this country?
So first thing, as I said earlier, competition is intense. So the first recommendation I would have is do some market study first. What are the goods and products or services that you want to offer? What is the competitive landscape here? And if there is a strong competition, then how are you going to differentiate? Like I said, we are trying to differentiate in many ways: technology, being agile, being whether it's to do with the approach of delivering consulting services. Likewise, people who are trying to set up business here, try and differentiate yourself first of all. Second is spend some time on structural aspects. So do you want to set up a mainland company or a free zone company? And try and understand a little bit of regulatory environment. And technology, as you said. Innovation and technology is at the heart of what the clients need from you. So what can you really contribute in that aspect? And the fourth thing is sustainability is high on the agenda if you look at the regulators around this part. So is there something you could do in that agenda? I think clients would really love you here.
I saw many certificates and awards you got it, and in different news also you are there. Let us to know about the important things which you was proud to reach for it.
I think the most important thing is the types of clients that we're working today. In less than 2 years, we are working with some of the best and largest organizations in the region.
Well done.
And that's the first aspect. And the second aspect is the talent that we have been able to attract. It's very proud. I'm very proud to say that we are trying to set up a multicultural organization here. So in the Middle East, we have more than 10 nationalities and cultures that are working seamlessly together. And overall now, in less than 2 years, we have more than 500 people globally. The faith that the talent is reposing us, that itself shows that we have a strong foundation to becoming a large consulting firm. And we aspire to become one of the best when it comes to the services that we are offering for our clients.
What's the future plan? What the next?
Well, we spent a bit of time thinking about where do we go from here. And we have a very, very strong growth plan, as any of the startups that you would expect. Thank you very much. And we want to grow and become, as I said, in the 4 areas that I outlined. We want to become the best in these areas. So and become the first port of call for our clients, and when they think about sustainability, finance, risk, and technology. And we want to really scale this business from here on. And the sky is the limit where we go from here.
Inshallah. Personally, if you have a message for the people who we can call them your backbone, who support you always, can we know these people who believe on your vision, and what's your message to them for their support?
Firstly, I would say huge thanks to the co-founders of Unicus, both Jamil and Sandeep. When I remember meeting them first about joining them, the way they outlined their vision, and in terms not just the vision, but the steps they had already taken in converting the vision into action steps. I was totally blown away by that. Secondly, Jamil is somebody who had hired me at KPMG many years ago. So I've been working with him for a decade and a half. So I always had a trust and faith with him, and really grateful to him to have chosen me and giving me this big responsibility. And I really hope that I convert this into something meaningful and something large that we all can be proud of in the future.
His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, he mentioned in my vision book, to be number one, it is not easy, but to continue on that level, that's the most hard and important also, to have a long-term relation with your client also. How you keep the relation strong for long term, and how you build the relation with your client to keep more strong also. In your field, very important, they have to be honest to you, and you have to listen to your advices also. What you will say today to them, and what the important part to keep the relation for long term?
This is an area which is very close to my heart. I mean, as I said, we work with some of the largest and the most complex organizations in the region. And one thing that is common across these organizations is how do you build that trust and connect? Once you build that trust, then you become a trusted service provider over a period of time. And then you don't really get into the discussion around the scope, the fee, the timeline. I think once you have that trust,
Right.
it becomes seamless to work with them. And for the trust to be built, the initial 1 or 2 engagements and projects that you do are the most important ones. And that's where I personally spend a lot of time. Firstly, identifying the challenges for clients, taking the right solution to them, making sure there is very clear expectation around what does the success look like from client's point of view, and how do we really become like a seamless part of their own organization and work with them towards that goal or a success. And thankfully we have seen good success in that area, and many large companies have seen Unicus to be a trusted partner. And therefore, in many organizations, when you are working, we don't just work on one transaction or one deal or one contract. We have seen in many cases the clients giving us follow-on work, and in fact, in many cases, clients have referred us to their friends and their colleagues and their other organizations. So, the word of mouth is a very strong part of the success story that we've seen so far, and I'm just hoping it continues.
And that's why we are here today. Emirati program always choose the best, and mashallah, you build your name in very short time in UAE, and we wish for you always to keep yourself also in the top. Today, if you have a message for the UAE visionary leaders and for UAE government, for the safety of United Arab Emirates, for the security, we have more than 200 plus nationality, and we live together, we support each other. And that's what I'm sure you feel here when you come. You don't feel you are out from your culture also. For the safety, security, more than 200 nationality, our regional leaders always, they support the business people who come here, the economic, the technology, the healthcare, the education also, which make our life more better and also safe. What you will say for our regional leaders and for our government for their support?
So first thing I would say is big thank you from Unicus standpoint as well as personally. As I said, when we moved here in Dubai early last year, it was so seamless, not just for myself, but the family, my 2 daughters, for them to get an admission in the school and how they were seamlessly able to blend into the culture here. So thank you very much for the lovely city and the ecosystem that you set up. And as you said, if it was not UAE, any part of the world, it would have been a lot difficult for us to firstly understand the culture, the nuances. But here it has been very, very easy. From business's standpoint, it couldn't have been easier. So big thank you to the regulators, to the visionary leadership here. As I said, the amount of infrastructure that you've created in a short period of time, I've never seen this kind of transformation anywhere in the world. So, and also there is no slowdown here. Every stage I see there is more and more focus on infrastructure and focus on building a very inclusive culture, sustainable culture, and that really is going to take this country to a different level. And I really want to congratulate in what you've done, and best wishes for something great that's going to happen in the future.
Inshallah. Thank you, Mr. Dinesh, for your time to be with the Emirati program, and we will celebrate with you, inshallah, the 53 of UAE, the National Day also.
Inshallah.
My best wishes for you and for your team.
Thank you very much for coming, and thanks for the opportunity.
Our pleasure.